I am Ian Schonberg,
Sim or Simanto Khandaker.
and we want to welcome you to today's podcast. And today's topic is going to be career coaching versus career counseling. And before we get into that, I think that this is kind of like a good time to kind of step back and talk about briefly who we are and where we're coming from, which will kind of lead to other questions as to why this podcast. And that we'll get to that in a minute. But who I am, currently
Yes.
currently a voiceover artist, but prior to voiceover artist, I was working in special education as a elementary school teacher, high school teacher, social worker, and then through a couple channels meeting Sim through our same university. I was an academic advisor and then oversaw the advising department at the College of Business and then became a recruiter for an executive MBA program. And now, fast forward to right now, a voiceover artist. So, my background or my eyes have seen a lot of from the social work aspect, from helping people, hands-on aspects, and that's kind of where my jobs have been. We're going to focus on the jobs more than likely. Talk about, where we're coming from, and again, my line has been for the past umpteen years, has been just working with people and trying to help them better themselves in whatever capacity that looks like. So I'm stopping. I'm putting time out on myself, and I'm gonna give it to Sim about his background. So
Oh
sorry.
my gosh. No, 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 no. I think what people need to know is the reason I reached out to you to become my co-host in this in this project of ours is because our first conversation when I think it was just an email introduction and we're like, you know what? Let's go grab lunch and let's get to know each other. And one of the things that stood out is your passion for helping people.
Yeah.
Special education, social work, and then education, higher education, and ultimately to that executive level. The reason you were doing it was you wanted to support and help people grow. And I think this is where we really connected because I also have a similar mission of helping people grow. My background is in counseling, therapy, and then there's corporate side because I love the dynamics of corporate structure. And then my private practice balanced that last, where I've been coaching individuals for over 15 years, all the way from like high school students to more executive C-suite, all in the mission of how can I help people live a better life,
Right.
focusing not on the entire life, because that would be an incredible task,
Right.
but focusing on it from that career side. And this podcast is a way for us to just share our perspectives, our interest, and talk about the psychology behind professional development. Because one of the key component is there's a lot of structure in career development, but we don't talk about I haven't heard about like what is on the background, what makes us feel a certain way that we need to look for a different job,
Yep.
right? How do we recover from a economically tough time, or how do we chase our passion when we have something but we really aren't fulfilled? Whatever those questions are. And I think so a little bit from my background, it's about counseling analytics. For me, it's always been my head and my heart are
Mhm.
always battling each other, right? And this is the space where I found in career counseling, career coaching, is they can actually cooperate with each other, where
Right.
I can use analytical sides of how I process things and my heart to say, like, you know what, let's let's work with an individual, let's work with my clients and create the life they want to live. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
So
think that
yeah.
and I think that's what and to your point as to how that shared connection to help other people. And I think we mentioned this before, like an off camera kind of thing, was we have different viewpoints, but we get to the same a lot of times get the same conclusion.
Mm,
Which I think is key because nowadays there's a
mhm.
lot of different viewpoints of the same topic.
Yes.
And I think that what is good about this podcast is it talks about the emotional side of careers and what that looks like in different angles and from different viewpoints. We're not here to give the answers because we may look quasi intelligent, but the reality is, I mean, can we match that quasi intelligence of how we look? I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the challenge right there.
I mean, I
Um,
do wear glasses, I'm
that's a
just
valid
saying.
point. I have I have glasses too. So if it makes my points go up a few, that'd be fantastic. Let me see. I do have to look at the spreadsheet. Okay, there we go.
There we
So
go.
yeah, and I think that talking about certain things, I think there's a lot of people out there that can really relate to some of the things we say,
Mhm.
and chiming in as to what questions they have about what we talked about, or maybe having questions about what to talk about,
Yes.
um, in
Yes.
terms of how they feel about certain topics from
Mhm.
a career perspective. Um, and so
Right.
I
It's,
think one of the
for
things we're going
me
to start was career coaching versus career counseling, right?
yes.
One of my things I'll just say from the get go, and I know you'll explain it in a minute, is regardless of which avenue you take, to take one and
Mhm.
to get the support you need
Right.
to help yourself find the career that you're looking for. So just to so since you're the expert at this, what is the difference between the career coaching and career counseling?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for me, you can find an incredible amount of career coaches all over the world. And some of them are fantastic. Some of them are really great in marketing. And some of them are they're really advising rather than coaching. So this is where I wanted to take this platform and to take a moment to explain the different types of support that is available. We have career advising that often tends to be like general, generic advice that is good advice that can probably help 60% of the population, if not 100% of the population can benefit. Like, for example, an advice is when you're doing a resume, you want to do A, B. That's good advice for everyone, no matter where you are in in that process. Career coaching takes on a little bit more personalized side. So, okay, I want to go into, let's say, finance, right? Career coaching, often career coaches will be able to help you tailor what does that resume look like
Right.
for finance. And then career counseling, this is the, I guess I'm putting quotes on here, most credentialed individual because they have to go through a counseling program. So they are
Right.
essentially a counselor that's specializing in career and professional development.
Yep.
So, for example, my background is a marriage and family therapist and mental health therapist, and then career counselor. I practice as a coach, but that is my educational background.
Right.
So I can help people not on not simply the career resume, those structured, tangible items, but also the psychology, the emotional component of getting rejected.
Yep.
That can have a severe impact. So there's different levels, and no matter where you are, if you have a career center in your university, in your organization, in your company, give them a call. Phone them you know, mention that, hey, you are interested and you want to invest in your own career. I think, like for me, if I had invested in my own career by
Mhm.
going to the career services or working with a career coach or a career counselor, I don't know where I would be, right?
So there's a couple of things I want to unpack of what
Yeah.
you said, which I think is vital. But one of the things
Hmm.
you mentioned was finding a career center at your university.
Hmm.
Those are easier to access. But when you're talking about a career center where you work,
Yes.
does that send a red flag, or is there some sort of a confidentiality between worker and career fill in the
That's a
blank,
fantastic question.
counselor advisor? Because the one thing you don't want to do is go there and then someone saying, so and so went there. Is
Hmm.
so and so looking for another job? Oh crap! It looks like we may need to put this person on watch on performance
Yes.
plan, anything to kind of maybe kick this, slowly
Yeah.
keep this person out. So
No.
is there some like a does it jeopardize someone to go into a career center at the place they're
Mhm.
working?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And here's why I say this, okay? It can feel intimidating to go to seek a service
Mhm.
that is designed for the employees as a benefit, right? And every time I talk to someone, if you are just starting out or if you're in the VP section, wherever you are in your professional journey, the Career Center is there to advocate for their employees because they know if I invest in my employees to get what they want,
Right.
ultimately it comes back to helping the company, helping the organization. For example, I was working with a client 2, maybe 3 years ago, and they were looking for their next VP to SVP role, okay? And I asked like, "Okay, do you use your career counselors, career coaches in your organization?" It's like, "No, no, 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 no. I don't want I don't wanna let them know that
Yeah.
I'm looking for that advancement," right? And this is why we're talking about the psychology behind it. Right. The reason for your question is, should I approach with caution? It's like, okay, am I gonna get in trouble? Am I gonna get into like a performance plan, or
Right.
is this actually supposed to help us? And yes, there is that level of, hey, if you are underperforming, they are there to help you figure out what is the best fit for you. Maybe it's not in, I'm still talking about finance for some reason, but let's just keep using that, right? If you're in finance, but that doesn't really align with what you really want to do, and that's going to keep you motivated and keep you growing,
Right.
working with them, they might be able to advocate for you to go into, let's say, business and marketing, because that's more aligned with who you naturally are,
Right.
right? They can help you shift internally so you are happier, because research continues to show the happier the employee, the better the team
Sure.
performs, the better the company performs.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
going back to my client, so I just mentioned like, hey, I understand you want to be a SVP in your current organization because you've been a loyal employee for this organization for, I think they were there for about 10 plus years. But guess what? If you became a SVP of another company, competitor, then what you are doing is strengthening the relationship between those two, your
Right.
current and your next. And several consulting firms will do this because it just helps them create more loyal individuals saying like, my previous organization helped me get here.
Mm,
So
that's
how can I
interesting.
help my previous organization and help my current organization?
That's interesting. I just had when you're talking about
Hmm.
when people go to their own career services in their organization, I see it as a lack of trust within HR,
Hmm.
a lack of trust within the
Yes.
career world because the reality is it's a very, very, very volatile market right now
Mm.
from a job opportunities
Right.
to layoffs. And so the one thing you don't want to do is unnecessarily lose your job because you're going somewhere thinking about either going somewhere else, maybe leaving your position, maybe leaving the company, maybe moving up. So it means you have to
Right.
leave your current position regardless of
Hmm.
whether it's promotion or exodus, one or the other. So I think that's how I guess how I look at it is, but in my head at the same time though, just getting help regardless. So maybe if it's not within the career services within your organization, at least
Hmm.
getting career advice from
Yes.
a professional outside. So even if
Absolutely.
you don't have that trust within your organization, because there's a very good chance
Mm.
that someone who wants to move on or move up does not want to go and talk to somebody within the organization because they don't trust the organization itself, and that's why they want to get out in
Absolutely.
the first place, right? So
Absolutely. Right.
so at least
One
just
of
try to get some help somewhere to
Yes.
help
Yes.
you determine what your next step is.
This episode is sponsored by Balanced at Last, my coaching services. That's balancedatlast.com. If you are curious about how I can help you, please schedule a free consultation call, a 20-minute call to assess your challenges and ways my services can help you. Mention you are a podcast listener and receive 20% off your coaching services. Offer valid for a limited time. Visit balancedatlast.com or scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description below. Thank you for listening. No, Ian, I think you hit it because you have to feel safe and comfortable
Mhm.
going into those offices, right? And it is a indication of the health of the organization, the
Right,
cultural health. We don't measure cultural health as often as we should, and we don't hold people accountable for creating healthy environments as often as we should.
right,
Again, I'm saying this because most of my clients are like, I'm done, right? I
right.
do not like my organization or I don't enjoy what I'm doing. They're coming from a place of I need change.
Is that a source of burnout, desperation? Is it numerous components? Is it one specific
Oh,
emotion that's tied to it?
I mean, I think it's numerous components, right? And the one key element is I need change. Something, whatever the components are, it's not working for me to the level I want. That's at the core of it. And when people are seeking out career coaching, career counseling, oftentimes people think like, okay, you know what? They can help me with my resume, my interview prep, and, few other tangible items because
Mm,
that's how it's marketed often. I'm going to work with a career coach. I was talking to a friend about this. I'm going to talk to a career coach and they're going to get me a job, right? I would love
how to
to
be a
say,
career
yes,
coach.
yes, come work with me and you get a job.
Mm,
That is not what's going to happen.
that's a great situation if that was the case. I would love that.
That would
What
be
what a what
wonderful.
a promise would that be?
And
What a
this
promise
is
to deliver on.
sadly, the coaching programs that are really great at marketing. And I'll tell you this, like after last week, you and I, we tried recording this episode, right? It didn't work out. It
It did
didn't
not.
work out. We learned some incredible lessons.
Yes, we did. Work in
But
progress. Totally.
from that point to today, I have received 4 emails saying how if I work with these marketing specialists,
Mhm.
I can quadruple my income tomorrow. Like,
Fantastic.
wow.
God bless. That is good for you, Sim. I mean, do me a favor, can you forward me those individuals? Because I would love to quadruple my income by tomorrow,
Right?
if
Yeah,
possible. Yeah,
it
that'd be great.
is. I'm happy to forward it to everyone that's listening.
And that's how they make quadruple their money because you're forwarding to everybody else. It's not a Ponzi scheme or pyramid scheme at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Hid
No.
sarcasm somewhere because I don't know how this is going to
Yeah,
go. Oh, but again, like this is why you can find so many career coaches because you
right.
don't have any centralized qualification for it,
Mm,
right? So there's again, I receive 2 emails and 2 LinkedIn messages saying that they'll get me to 6 figures
mm,
within 6 months. I'm like, that's fantastic, but are we actually helping people?
right,
Right? That's at the core. Finances are important
right,
to get me comfortable, but it's not about the finances that I need 6 figures by
right,
6 months. It's about how many lives am I impacting? And I think that's where you and I we really connect is it's about lives impacted.
right. Yeah, and it reminds me honestly of when it comes to when you're discussing from a career specialist's point of view, the salary, right?
Mm,
I think of it as another teacher, another
mhm,
social worker, someone who works with people to better and enrich their lives on the ground and talked about in high esteem, but not
mhm.
paid
Yes.
to equal their how someone sees them in high esteem. So it
Right?
truly is one of those things where if you're doing it, it is honestly a love for what you're doing. It's a love for the profession. It's a
Yes.
love for the goal you're reaching with each client. It's not really I'm in it for the six figures because to get to
No.
six figures, it takes a while to build a client base and you're not if that's why you're doing it in the first place and it doesn't seem
Mhm.
like either that career being a career advisor or career coach is for you and honestly
Right?
if someone if your clients should try to find somebody else because if they're in it for the money and not for the person, then
I
you're
mean,
kind of,
it's so
just
true.
you're not following the right person to help you out.
It's really easy. It's really easy to say, "Hey, I invested in my career by buying this 100, 200, $500,000 course."
Right.
It's really easy to say that.
Sure. Absolutely.
It's
I
also
agree with
really
that.
easy to commit to that, right?
Right.
Commit to financing it. But then the follow through is different.
Right.
The accountability is different, right? And then the actual result is no longer on the ownership of the course. Back on yourself,
Right. Well,
right?
yes,
Investing
you
the
have
same amount.
yeah, absolutely. You have to move away from the
Mhm.
book and you have to rely on
Yes.
yourself and your skills and
Yes.
your passion because if you're and you
Right.
can tell if someone's leading with passion or if someone's leading
Mhm.
with money driven in mind or a salary in mind.
You
There
can.
really is no comparison. You can just it's night and day.
Right.
It really is
Right.
night and day.
It is. It absolutely is. But I just want to share with the people listening, right? It's easy to invest in courses, virtual courses, in-person courses. But in addition to that, make sure that courses try to build your skills, not your career. Because your career is more dynamic than a course. And this goes back to our comparisons of career advising, career coaching, and career counseling, right?
Right.
Career advising, the course will be impactful. Absolutely, but they will talk about the general information that's going to level set the foundation, I think,
Right.
foundation of career development, right? Investing that same amount on a career coach or a counselor, you may not see that immediate certification saying, like, you
Right.
finished this course, but in time, you'll be able to navigate craftfully
Yeah.
throughout your career to get to wherever you want to go faster. And it'll feel easier because you know the dynamics, you know the game rules, and you know what aligns with you and what doesn't.
And there's gotta be some point as well to
Mhm.
when the person finds that career, advisor, coach, counselor, either they connect or they don't, number 1, and
Yes.
number 2, if they do connect, how long should they be with that person? And if they
Yeah.
don't connect, I mean, I'm guessing you just kinda keep on trying to find the person you connect with. And still go back to the
Yes.
same question of how long are you with that person?
Right.
You know?
Right. So for me, and this goes back to one of my beliefs. Okay. And this is a personal belief. So for me, it's around 12 sessions.
Okay.
All right. Because if we're not driving decisions and action within 12 sessions, right, then there's much deeper things at play that doesn't move the client from, okay, I'm still thinking about this. I'm still thinking about this. Then you need that counseling side of what is actually happening that's not moving you forward, right?
Do you
Oftentimes,
no,
yeah.
okay, I'll let you finish, but I'm gonna, in my
Yeah.
head, put a pin on that one. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
The reason I say this is because it can be tough for a coach to challenge their clients, right? And it can also be tough for a client to be challenged.
Hmm,
The reason because oftentimes it feels like, oh, you work for me because I'm paying you to be coach, so don't tell me what I need to do. At the same time, right, as a coach, as a counselor, you're there for the objectivity and the expertise
right,
of that individual, just like going to the doctors, right?
right,
You don't go to the doctors and say, "Okay, I'm fine, right, doctor?"
right.
And
Yeah,
they say, "Yep." No. No, you go for the expertise. And the reason I say for me personally, right? If I don't see my clients moving within about 4 or 5 sessions, like actually doing some assignments, and my assignments take about 5 to 10 minutes,
mhm,
right?
yeah,
Taking action, then I know that they're not in the action stage
okay,
of this experience. So I have to dial back and understand what is making them feel stuck to take action. This goes back to the psychology of career progression.
okay,
So by if I have sadly it's happened to me like twice, 3 times where we're at like session 6, 7 and I have yet to receive anything that gives me confidence that they are doing the work to get to where they want to be.
Right.
And for me, it was tough, but I had to say, I can't be your coach because it's not working,
Right. They're
right?
not in the action stage. So
They're
what
not in
stage
the
were they
action
if they're not in
stage.
the action stage, then you said previously that you want it by session 5 or 6 to be in that action stage.
Absolutely.
What's the initial stage then? Is it inactivity?
Yeah.
Is it
Mm.
what's that
So,
stage called?
right. So there's multiple stages before action stage.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So we talk about, and this is from the counseling background, pre contemplation. It's thinking about solving something, right? Oftentimes it can be like the pre preparation. I've Googled career coaches once or
Yeah.
twice, over the last 6 months,
Right.
right? And then there's a oh my gosh, mixing up my words.
Should I Google the I'm the expert, but I can easily Google if I really need
Yeah,
to.
that contemplative. So it's thinking about like, so you're actually investing more time thinking about, okay, I am not happy. What can I do? You're maybe working with ChatGPT or AI in these
Right.
worlds, right? Trying to find answers, trying to get information so you can start making moves, right? After that, there is a level of testing. Can I go ahead? Should I email that career counselor? Should I not? It's that hesitation of going going from okay, I think I need change to okay, this is what the internet is telling me I need to do to okay, I need external support or I need to apply or do
Mhm.
something externally. And then there is a constant level of action.
Mhm.
Two applications work today, four applications
Right.
tomorrow, and so on. And also looking towards the side of what is working, what isn't working, how am I verifying this? And I love friends and family.
Yeah.
They are wonderful in support. I have given my family members, just as a test, different resumes of mine. It's like, can you give me feedback?
Yeah.
And I intentionally made several mistakes, but what I receive is encouragement. Like, this is great. Wow. I had no idea you did all this. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. They are there to support, but then I gave it to a career counselor and they're like, "Okay, wrong, 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 wrong."
Yeah.
I get
Right. Oh,
back
absolutely.
because they're
Absolutely.
objective, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yes.
so
Yes.
easy to become objective. And this is why you invest with a person that has your interest,
Right.
right? And they are able to be objective. So I
Yeah.
know I answered like multiple different questions at different
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
No, you
Go
you
ahead.
you answer the question, right, and so it became this, I think to your point of how long do you I mean, you can't really quantify how long you should be in a certain emotional stage, but I find it interesting that you kind of do put parameters on how long you should be in a stage, and then if you don't get out of it, then maybe it's just not a good match. In addition
Yeah.
to that, my takeaway is you're not going to a career coach for a one-off.
Mm,
And even after you get the job, and if, fortunately
mhm.
you have the career that you want, you have the job that you want, that's great. But also maybe having the career coach, even maybe 3 or 6 months after you get that first job, just to kind of check
Yep.
in, maybe as a follow up, see how you're doing. Because again, the one off thing just doesn't seem to be something to really help somebody find their career. Just to look at a resume and saying, okay, just do this, this, and this, because I don't think that really
Mhm.
paints a true picture of where they are.
And thank you for saying that because there's some truth to it. And like 90% of people think career counseling is that getting me to the job.
Right.
Career coaching is getting me to the job. One thing that if you hear one thing from this entire episode, I think it needs to be that part is only 10% of what a
Yeah.
career coach does. 10%. The other 90% is when you're stable, right? When you have that stability of the job, how do we get you from
Uh-huh.
0 or 10 to 50 to 70 to 100 so
Right.
you are living at your optimal, not optimal work, because I don't believe we need to be constantly plugged into work, right? I think we need to have that work life balance, but that works for the lifestyle we want for ourselves. And to add another point to the timeline and how many sessions, for every client I work with who go through one of my packages, I say for free, let's check in after 3 months and then after 6 months.
Mm,
All right.
yep.
And if they choose to continue working with me after that point, we continue working together. But it's not at a regular cadence as it was before to get you
Right.
to your destination. So
Right.
oftentimes I've had clients reach out every 2 months, 3 months.
Hmm.
It's like, hey Sim, just wanted to check in. This is what's happening at work. What are you thinking? You understand my goal beyond my organization, beyond my role? Am I on track? What would you change? How would you challenge me? These conversations come up. And when it comes up, we see exponential progress rather than, okay, got here and plateau until it dips to, I'm not happy anymore. Okay. And get up and plateau and then it dips again. And this is the style that I keep seeing with individuals that feel stuck often. It's like, okay, I have help. I'm here. I will plateau for about 2 years, maybe 3 years, and then I'm not enjoying it anymore. And then, okay, I'm done. Let me get some help so I can get to the
Mm,
next role, next career. And then, okay, I'm done. So there is that ceiling they are creating for themselves. I can't break through the
right.
ceiling. Again, we're
Right.
not talking about systemic challenges, right?
Right.
We're just talking about individual psyche of I've hit this and this is the highest I can go. Instead of, no, actually you can go here. And once you get there, you can go here. And I understand I'm doing this by my hand and those that
Yeah.
are listening to audio, you're missing this
Yeah.
incredible visual of me raising my hand.
It's going from like fuzzy microphone on a shirt to like collar to ear to head. So there are increments if you can hear it but not see it. Trust me, it's riveting. Oh, it's a riveting escalation of hand motions. It's just it's a sight to behold.
Yes, yes.
But it's just
Mhm,
when listening to someone who's actually doing it, who this is your profession, and coming from somebody myself who
mhm,
never went to a career person, probably I can say easily I've done dumb things in my life, repetitively in certain areas and
right?
sometimes just one-offs dumb things
I'm
in
guilty of
different
that.
areas. And this is for me, it was dumb not to see a career professional until it was too late in my career. After I was in my late 40s,
Mhm,
realizing, what I should do, maybe this isn't working. Maybe the system that I'm following within is
mhm,
broken.
mhm,
Because what I've done in my past was here is a job. Okay, it pays X amount. Cool. I'm here for a certain amount of time. Okay, it's okay. But my friend, they're getting paid certain amount more if they went
mhm,
here. Okay, let me go to that job. And so
right.
over time, it was chasing the dollar, right?
Yeah.
And then over time, I thought, well, let's chase the dollar alongside what I think I should be doing, not
Mhm,
checking in with anybody, not seeing if there's like an accountability person. But it was
right.
okay. Well, now I'm a social worker, but I like to go into the classroom to check on the kids that are on my caseload. Maybe I
Mhm,
should be a teacher. Cool. All right. So let me go ahead and study to be a teacher and get my degree. All right, great. Now I'm a teacher. Okay, well, I've been here for 7 years. I'm burning out now. I think I need to
mhm,
change. What should I do? Oh, I know. So all of these steps that I've taken were
yes.
never bouncing the idea off a professional. And, look, life happens the way it does, and the
Right.
choices were made, and I'm in the situation I'm in now because of the choices I made.
Mhm,
But I'm saying all this because looking back, oh my gosh, I really should have gotten to a career person much, 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 much sooner in my
mhm,
life than I did. Because just to know what the options are, not from outside, but from within. I didn't know
mhm,
what I could offer the world because I never inflected upon myself and I never thought
Mm,
about what I could do and who I could be because I was told you would be good at this. And so my mind said, cool, I could be good at that. I'll do that.
yeah.
There was no self-inflection as to, okay, I might be good at it, but would I
Mhm.
like doing it?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And so that's why, I go back to the whole, kicking a dead horse thing. It's just I can't stress enough if you have, just to see somebody that can help you with who
Mhm.
you are and be a better person when you're finding a career.
Right.
That to me is just it truly is invaluable. It truly is invaluable and something that I would, scream from the rooftops and say, even if you're in a job that you like,
Mhm.
get a career counselor. I don't
Same.
care if you've reached your pinnacle and you love where you're at, get a career counselor because it won't last. There might be writing on the wall of where you are and the job you
Mhm.
love that will kick you to the curb. And then what?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Volatile markets. You could be
Ah,
gone tomorrow.
it's true.
You could maybe you're in a position right now where you want to grow. Great. What does that look like? Go to a career
Right.
counselor. Why do you want to grow within a certain profession? And there's
Mhm.
just so many different options and variables and reasons why someone should go to a career counselor. And I just negated all of them by not going to any of them when I was, when I was growing up. So
I'm guilty of this. I am guilty of
I'm
this,
going to
okay?
stop now because I'm going to get off the train before it just really
No,
goes off the tracks.
no,
Yeah.
the thing that you're saying,
Like a
right?
3-minute monologue there. Go
No,
ahead.
I think it's so valuable what you said, what you mentioned. It's
Mm,
because what we call that in career counseling is happenstance, right? I happened to stumble upon this, and for from your example, they said you'd be good at this, so I went there,
mhm,
right? And
right,
then this, and then this. There wasn't a to your point that internal reflection of is this what I really want, and is this where I want to go? That
right,
check-in point as often as you would like. I'm sure there was. Maybe it was just other responsibilities, other priorities came in
right,
that took that attention away. And
right.
that happens to all of us. All of us, right? I may be the specialist, quotes, specialist here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've also done stupid things, dumb
Mm,
things that I'm like, oh man, this, like, I should have started this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15
mhm, right,
years ago.
right.
Again, that will always stay with us. It's what we do now,
Yeah,
right? And the way we can take advantage of our career journey. And I love this topic for many reasons. One of the key component is a third of our adult life, a third of it is dedicated to professional development, right? The 9 to 5, that's 8 hours out of a 24-hour day. A third of our life is dedicated to this. Another third is dedicated to sleep, hopefully.
right,
Hopefully, you're sleeping 8 hours or
right.
thereabouts, right? So this is where I am trying to invest, and I think this podcast is trying to invest
Mhm,
in creating more meaningful part of your life that you can say, like, you know what? I'm actually getting 8 hours of sleep and I'm really happy with my career, with my
right,
professional. That's two thirds. The other third is about friends and family and relationship and what you do personally. And once we figure that component out, it's so much easier to roll with the resistance of not wanting to do this, not doing that, not being happy, feeling stuck. Because you know what? Yes, I feel stuck today, but I'm going to change. I'm going to act and change this afternoon, tomorrow, right now, right?
right.
Because when I look back, and I think I wrote this article probably at this point, probably like 10 years ago, how much not starting my business as a career counselor has cost me. And
Mm,
this is 10 years ago, math.
right,
Because I was so self-conscious about should I start? What if I'm not good enough? What if this? What if that? What if I can't? All these
yeah,
things kept me from sharing my knowledge, my expertise with greater audience, right? And over time, I have written so many blogs, so many articles, so many things. And then I deleted them in that, and this is a topic we'll definitely cover, imposter
Sure.
syndrome, where I was not ready, right? Even from when we were talking about like clients, if they're not moving into the action stage,
Right.
then there's something else,
Right.
probably imposter syndrome, maybe resource access, maybe several other things that we haven't figured out yet. It happens to me. It happens to nearly everyone I know. But this podcast, our episode, our conversation is to, pierce through your commute. Hopefully you don't have a long commute, but and share our insights, our knowledge about what we've tried, what we've done to improve. What are some uh, things, some steps we can take to get better? For me, I started off with saying, one day I'll do this podcast. And yes, I'll do a YouTube and all these things for about 2, 3 years now. And then one day I'm like, you know what? I know exactly who I want to talk to. Let me message
And
Ian.
that
Let's
person
Ian.
wasn't available, so he called me, and
Well,
here I was.
obviously, obviously,
I was
obviously.
I was
No,
like 5th on the list of like a 3-page list, or
yes, the first one on a three-page list, you know, because I remember our conversation and I remember how we aligned with our mission of helping people,
yeah,
right? And that continues to this day. And I think
yeah,
for us, both of us, right, that will continue until we retire and then some.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so, and hopefully people can get something out of this. Whatever nugget of information can be found
Mhm.
from our musings, and whatever it takes.
Yeah,
We're just here to help out with your
we
career
are.
journey, whatever it looks like, because I believe everyone has one, and
Yes,
somewhere, I mean, they're in there somewhere. Excuse me. So that's
absolutely.
why we do this, is just to help out, and hopefully it will make you think about what to do next, and those
Mhm.
decisions to help your career move forward in a positive manner, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. And we are launching this. I guess, audience, you don't know this. We're pre-recording our podcasts, and we will be launching it in mid-October. And our next podcast is about scary bosses, right? The toxic bosses, and we're gonna dig into them
Mm.
a bit more just in time for Halloween. So please go ahead and hit subscribe, like. I don't know what all the other things are,
Anything with a
and
thumb up, like thumbs up
yes,
kind of thing. Yeah,
thumbs
do
up
that.
and
Click on
leave
that call to action
comments.
button.
Yeah, leave comments.
Yeah,
Right? Because we wanna make sure that this podcast, the time that Ian and we're dedicating is time where we can listen to you and create content that is impactful for you who are listening, right? We have a list of 50 different topics, but that doesn't mean that's what you need immediately. So we are happy to get inspiration from you as we continue moving forward. Ian,
couldn't agree more.
last words.
Couldn't
Last
agree more.
words?
This is It's been a good day. Let's next podcast, let's make another good episode as well. And
Yeah.
for that to happen, just like Sim said, just let us know what we can do to help you with your career journey.
That's it, and you will see me if you tune into YouTube, you will see me in a different location next time. We may start playing, like, Where in the World is Sim? I mean, you remember that game
Yeah,
or show,
I
Where in
was
the World is Carmen Sandiego?
we're in the world's Carmen San Diego. I am better at Where's Waldo than I am with Carmen San
Oh,
Diego.
yes,
Waldo I can
okay.
knock out like it's nothing, but Carmen San Diego, I am geographically stunted, so
Mhm,
I couldn't tell you. Man, I am just we'll just say it's not my wheelhouse to
okay.
remember certain countries and their location in the grand scheme of things.
I am
But
guilty of it.
look, if I can find a half-inch little character with red and white and a hood somewhere in a very large book, that I can do no problem.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure that's on your resume, right?
my gosh, you kidding me? That's like an intangible that everybody's seeking nowadays. You kidding me? So much better than AI. Oh, man.
It's
You know,
100%,
they have got nothing on me. But yeah,
100%. Thank you so much for joining us and being part of the conversation. We hope this episode has given you some insight on your journey to a more balanced and fulfilling career. Please find beyond the 9 to 5 a balanced career on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode. Thank you for joining us.